Hey, what's up, guys? Max here, and today we got a big announcement from Kabam letting us know what the upcoming seasons for Battlegrounds nodes are going to be looking like and Alliance War. But in this video, we're going to be specifically talking about Season 13 only because there's a lot to talk about, and I don't want this video to be too long. So Season 13, let's kind of focus on that really quick. Now, one of the reasons why they're giving us Season 13, 14, 15 all at once is because Necropolis is out. And there's a lot of rank ups that are going to be required probably to take down Necropolis completely at 100% if that's your intention and your goal. And aligning those rank ups with if you know that Battlegrounds is going to, they're going to benefit from Battlegrounds. It has like a double option on that champion. Benefits you two ways for Necropolis and also for Battlegrounds or Alliance War if you participate in Alliance War now, or if you participate in Battlegrounds. So when it comes to Battlegrounds Season 13, like I said, I wanted to cover this one completely. We have the victory track, which is what we're going to be seeing there. Now we're going to kind of like talk about that eventually, not in this video or just in live streams in general, and week 1 and 2. But we're going to jump straight into week 3 and 4. One of the biggest reasons week 3 and week 4 are important is because that is how you place. That is the rewards. That is really the compensation for playing the entire month of Battlegrounds. It's just built this way for now until they change it, which I think they should change it. You know, they should just go split the week 3 and 4 into 2 weeks and have 2 different metas. You know, and that's my suggestion because it seems like players, if they have enough time, they get really proficient and become really good at the final week 3 and 4, you know, because they're constantly in their playing. So they improve their skills and they get good. But the competitive side of another player not able to spend them out at the same time doesn't allow them to, you know, tune their skills. So if everybody gets like a 1 week, you know, option to learn and master the final node meta, I feel like that kind of evens out the playing field for those players that are trying to push, but don't have the entire week 3 to kind of like prep for the final week of week 4. If that makes sense. I don't know if you follow me on that one, but let's jump right into basically the attackers buffs, the defenders buffs. Okay. One of the things that has lately stand up really big is benefiting on your attackers. You really want to have the attackers to just knock down those defenders, regardless of what they put on defense. If you have a champion that just benefits completely from the node, we saw this in this season 12 with the sugar pill and decay. Regardless of what defender they put in, as long as you brought a decay champion, you were taking advantage. Now, not all cases were the same. You know, you had some non-decay champions that were able to do really good fights if you timed it perfectly. Hulkling is one that kind of comes to mind right now, but mainly decay champions were benefiting. So if we're going to focus on that again, we're going to be looking at the attacker's buffs. So each time the defender would gain power while suffering from a petrify, a never wither, and suppression effects, science attackers gain a 20-second fury passive, increasing attackers rating by 10%. This is stackable up to 10 times. And this ability has a 2-second cooldown. So basically, it looks to me like as long as you have these debuffs applied on the defender, you're going to be getting that fury, right? Now, it talks about power gain, and that's because the defender is going to have a power gain buff on them. Basically, there's this one in the middle which says each time the attacker leaves striking distance, the defender gains a power gain buff. When entering back into the striking distance, the buff is removed. We don't know the potency of that power gain, but once it goes live, we'll see how strong that is. And so that's basically the power gain that is benefiting the attacker. So if you want to stay, like you want to bring a science champion that applies a wither very easily, or a petrify very easily, you know, one of these debuffs, and then you back off, basically you're going to get that attack rating, and that should stack up, you know, up to 10 very quickly with that 2-second cooldown, right? So there's that option for you to benefit that I kind of stood out to me right away. The other option I'm going to tell you right now, so is whenever the attacker triggers a buff, it is immediately nullified and the defender gains a regeneration buff, granting 10% of their max health over 7 seconds. This ability has also a 7 cooldown. That might be a little bit of annoying because whether you just dex, you trigger a buff, certain champions are going to not really benefit here from these, especially really buff heavy champions. A lot of the cosmics come to mind. Shouldn't be on offense that much, just because they're going to be a kind of like you're going to have the defender healing up basically every 7 seconds. So that's not that good, right? So two things came to mind, right? Bringing in science attackers that benefit from these debuffs. Or let me bring you a list here, bringing in champions that completely are buff immune. Now, I found this list on the Marvel Contest of Champions wiki, basically showing a couple of the champions. And guess what? They're all science that are fully buff immune. So you got Ant-Man, you have Cassie Lang, you have Red Guardian, Spider-Man 2099, Titania, and Hulk with the synergy. So we're going to be focusing on these champions here. So if you have some of these champions ranked up, those are the ones you want to add to your deck. Titania seems to be kind of coming in. She's very strong throughout the seasons. And sorry if you're seeing me look around. I'm actually grinding revives as we're doing this video. But Titania seems to be very strong. A lot of people might have a Titania rank 2 already. Cassie Lang rank 5 from this season of season 12. Ant-Man rank 2 as a 7-star, ranked up as well. So the only two that probably didn't make it to your deck and might make it this season are going to be Spider-Man 2099 and Red Guardian. But I think mainly a Spider-Man 2099 is going to be because he also applies a lot of debuffs on there as a safety net attacker. So you're not going to proc any kind of healing from the opponent, and you're just going to be able to push them down very quickly. So those are going to be again, knowing also here, let me bring you a list, knowing some of the champions, for example here, suppressions. These are some of the champions that apply suppression. Now, whether it's easy to apply suppression or very difficult, like it's only in a special 2 and it lasts only a certain amount of time, that's kind of where we're going to have to do some digging. But if you're looking at double threat champions like Jessica Jones, Mr. Fantastic, Photon, Scorpion, Titania, these are the champions that stood out to me that are kind of like double threat. The Wither debuff, Quicksilver is annoying. Spider-Man 29 again making his face there. Titania is on there as well. And then here's the Neverate debuff. Abomination Immortal, Hulk Ragnarok, Mr. Negative, Spider-Gwen. Spider-Gwen might be in there. I don't know. Like I said, didn't fully go into the list of all these champions. Petrify are actually quite a large list of champions that apply that. But, we have basically a huge selection of champions that we can add in there when it comes to the debuffs. Now, leading strong on these, I would probably be careful and wait, really, really wait until this meta goes live. So that's 5 weeks from now or so, 6 weeks from now, because some of these champions might not play out as strongly as we think they will. I think Joe Fixit seems like a good option here. Joe Fixit might make his comeback right now. We see Voids might be a little bit slow, but it might be a dual threat on defense. It depends. We'll see how it works out. But these are some of the lists that kind of stood out to me. Now, some of the defenders, very quickly, I was looking at Ant-Man here where he applies basically debuffs, but some of the defenders are going to be your common Mystic. Even though you're going to have a lot of attackers, you don't have the ability to heal too much from these attackers. So you're going to have, because of the power gain and because how Mystic Dispersion is going to work with it, you might have a benefit of having some of these annoying Mystic defenders on defense. So like Dragon Man as a defender, you have maybe we might see Kindred do a comeback on defense. He was really crippled this last season. Mephisto might do a little bit of a comeback. Champions that just gain power, and again, if you keep your distance with that special one, that might delay the fight a little bit too long. You got the sassies of the rank twos that everybody has now. So like some of the common mystic defenders might do a comeback. Now, non-mystic defenders, I think we have like Hyperion is one that gains power. Can't really control the power unless you have a power control option. But if you keep a distance, again, he might be annoying, spamming special ones or special twos, whatever the rotation you end up in. And it might be harder to control. Maestro, as everybody's going to be able to get him, especially for season 13. People going in there, whether it's that 5-star or that 6-star, that might be a difficult defender. And Terax came to mind because you want to keep your distance from this guy right away, and if you don't keep your distance, he's gaining power. So all that kind of said, it kind of gives me that that kind of like, hey, this guy's going to be very annoying when it comes on defense. Again, some of the skill champions I did want to mention. You're gonna have your Nick Furies, pushing him to accidentally to like special 3, special 1 where you weren't ready to like do that special 1. The Korgs, again, some of the most common defenders I think you're gonna see. But if you want to shine and you want to have easier matchups, I think having some of these champions in there would be the option to have. So pretty excited for season 13. Like I said, there's a lot to cover. And I just wanted to focus on week 3 and week 4 in this video, just because those are the ones that I am going to be prepping for. Now, whether like how the post says right here, you want to get these champions up for Necropolis as well. We got the Cyber Weekend coming here in a couple of weeks. And you kind of have to have like that mindset of, hey, I need to either go and complete Necropolis, rank up for Necropolis. We might see like maybe 5 champions, or maybe like typically the case, 2 to 3 champions are typically the case that shine for difficult content. So you might want to rank those up. And then have, focus up for like season 13 and then season 14 in the future, because we have that here too. And again, and if you play Alliance War, we have the nodes and stuff for Alliance War too as well. So anywho, guys, I wanted to cover that. Actually, what are your thoughts on season 13 when it comes to like some of the, like, do you think you should go the full buff immune option, don't worry about the regen, or should you bring in some science champions that apply these debuffs to kind of counter basically the power gain situation that's going to happen? We'll see, like, once this goes live, but that's kind of my early thoughts right now, as this just went live a few minutes ago. But let me know what you think, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Peace.